Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Hellsing Ultimate. Last time around, the Nazis have made it to England, and they have started bombarding London with, vampires. Sir Penwood and his men sacrificed themselves to hold the line, basically. Excuse me. Integra and Walter escaped. However, Walter had to stay behind to deal with some of the Nazis while Integra escaped. And then Integra was surrounded by vampires, but she was ready to, go down with a fight, But then that's when Anderson and the Iscariot forces showed up. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Alucard is on a boat, and he's on his way back. So yeah, interesting stuff. We're in the thick of it now. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Hellsing Ultimate. Here we go. Our boys, at least they're dying like men. Alrighty, episode 6. Oh boy. It's interesting. I guess in the heat of battle, you can excuse some sexual harassment, I guess. I don't know. That is just kind of funny that it's like, well, like she was okay, like, one of them slapped her on the ass and she was like, oh, you. But then as soon as he tries to kiss her, that's where she draws the line. Well, I guess she at least has a line to draw. I don't know. You know what's interesting? I just see it right here in the copyright thing here at the end. Copyright 2006, Kota Hirano. I'm assuming that's the original author. Shonen Gahosha Company. I'm assuming that's just Shonen Jump. But it says that and then / Wild Geese. Are the Wild Geese, is that an actual company or something? Did they have to take the name or something? I don't know. Now I want to look that up. I don't think that's gonna well, I was gonna say I don't think that gives spoilers, but then again, what are spoilers to me? Hellsing Wild Geese. All right, here's some trivia. The name Wild Geese is believed to be derived from a movie during the 70s that shared the name and was about a group of mercenaries in Africa. This is incorrect, and the reference is instead to the Wild Geese, the Irish who left Ireland following the Treaty of Limerick. With Pip being French, it's possibly a homage, since it was the Wild Geese serving France who finally broke the back of the Allied army at the Battle of Fontenoy in 1745, which would place their entry after the dissolution of the official French-Irish units. However, many organizations of predominantly Irish mercenaries are known to refer to themselves as the Wild Geese, particularly those dating back to the 18th and 19th century. Oh, here we go. Wild Geese is also the name of the Hellsing Ultimate OVA production committee. That's why the name appears in the credits. Wow, it's like that was written just for me. That's amazing. I was like, I wonder why that's there. Oh, here's the exact explanation. So there's some reasons as to why Wild Geese is the name in the manga, and then it's the production company. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because I see that a lot in anime. They'll have the random example, but the My Hero Academia production committee, basically, And it'll normally just be something like that, but I like that these guys, they decided to name themselves Wild Geese. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, you certainly don't want to name yourself Millennium or something, and the Hellsing organization's a little too on the nose. So, Wild Geese. I like that. But yeah, our Wild Geese, unfortunately, they are not going to come through this and become wild swans. That's the term, right? Geese to swan. Maybe not. A goose to a swan. I'm thinking of something else. I guess I'm just thinking of a little duckling that becomes a swan. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, our boys, they're not going to come through this, but hell if they didn't put up a good fight, you know? So, well, to go over the notes, started off with Maxwell. Slight bit of Maxwell with his backstory. Like, we don't get the full details or anything, but we do get that he was an orphan. He was a bastard, as he says. You know, it does bring to question, and again, this is one of those things where it's like, you know, I never thought about this when I watched the abridged, but now I do. It's like, how old is Anderson? You know? How old is Anderson? Like, he looks exactly the same as he did all those years ago. I guess, how old is Maxwell? There's a good question. For Maxwell, it's like, his design is pretty, you know, I don't want to say standard, but it's like, it's a pretty normal design, I guess. But then when you see his past, it's like, no, he always had the, like, white anime hair, so... Enrico Maxwell, late 20s to mid 30s. He's pretty young. He's actually pretty young. But, well, hell. See, this is the nice thing about having already watched the abridged. It's like, I don't really have to worry about spoilers because, like, I kind of know pretty much everything, you know? I do and I don't, so. Where is... Alexander Anderson. Does it give an age? Unknown, maybe 40s. Yeah, so... we don't know. We don't really know. Like, I would imagine it's like physically he's in his 40s, but, you know, I guess it would make sense that he's probably been around for a while, you know? Just because he is an artificially created human, you know? So, or an artificially enhanced human, so. But yeah, but we saw a bit of that, and now, that little bastard that people would shun and spit on, now he's leading, well, a crusade. Not necessarily, I mean, obviously the same, it's the same sort of hood as the clan, but obviously, like, obviously, they are not supposed to just be, like... I don't know. I'm sure there's a whole history of those outfits and why the clan uses them. So, I don't even want to get into all that. Of course, watching that scene, the thing that just pops into my head was the abridged scene. Because that's a very big abridged scene where they just go through every single, like, version. And then they do actually get to the clan. It's like, we're from South Carolina. And it's like, oh, God. So. But Maxwell has his army now. And I like that immediately Anderson is like, I don't really like what Maxwell's doing, you know? So that's really interesting. I hope they go into more specifics of it, because I know what they went with in the abridged, but I would love to see like more of the specifics of why Anderson opposes Maxwell, you know? But we'll get to that when we get to that. And then and we did, I love Integra just taking command, basically. Like, I thought that was really good. Like, you know, Heinkel's trying to be all high and mighty and cool and stuff, and Integra doesn't care about you, you small person, you know? And I love she's just, light my cigarette, or light my cigar, you know? Light it. Go on, do it. Light my cigar. And Heinkel just can't stop herself and lights it and is like, well, you are now Integra's bitch. Good job. And I like, because it's like, yeah, Anderson's just like, we'll follow her for a while, you know? Like, we have no real reason, like, to capture her or anything. And it's also partly because of what Maxwell is doing now. So I like that. I like how they say, too, it's like, they're going to question you about this. And he's like, they can question me if they dare, you know? And that's true. It's like, you can question him. Are you going to do it to his face? Because that's terrifying. His face is a warrant. It's terrifying. Anyway. So that stuff was good. I love that. I love just Integra just being in charge of things, you know? And then we get the attack on the mansion, which was pretty good. So yeah, Zoran told not to underestimate Saris. What does she do? Underestimate Saris. I mean, yeah, it kind of is, but it's like, you know, I love how this basically highlights how a blimp is not a good mode of transportation. Like, it works, you know, it works in London where there's not an army of vampire hunters waiting for them, and, you know, they can just rain vampires all over the city. That works. But when all you have is just a blimp just coming by to a heavily armed, fortified mansion like the Hellsing mansion, like, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So, and and especially too because it's just such a giant eyesore. It's like, how would Saris not see that? You know, like, why did you think this was gonna work? But granted, they're still going. They're still up and moving. But I think they said they lost like half their forces just on Saris's attack. You know, so. And yeah, I love that. I love too when Zoran's like, oh, you know, turn on the lights, and they're like, oh, but if we turn on the lights, she's gonna see us. I love Zoran's just like, you moron, she already can see us. That's the point. We can't see her, but she can obviously already see us, you know? So that was great. I love the Harkonnen too. I love it just gets more ridiculous, you know? Like, Alucard always just has, like, a gun. Like, it's a big gun, yeah. But it's just, like, a gun, basically. I love that that Saris constantly gets bigger and bigger crap. It's just really funny. Just the juxtaposition of this giant friggin' 300 kilo weapon and this tiny British woman at the helm of it, you know? But she's strong enough because she's a vampire, you know? So that was really great. I did like Pip's speech about, you know, he never really cared for London, but the people of London, they shouldn't have gotten caught up in this, you know? The innocents, the waiter that used to feed him the greasy fish and chips, the whores who were always so nice to him, you know? This nice little place that his buddies always drug him to, you know? Like, they don't deserve to be a part of this, you know? They had no idea about Millennium, Iscariot, Hellsing, the Last Battalion, none of it, and now they're all dying, burning, and being reborn as ghouls to eat innocent people all over again, you know? And I mean, you know, we even see a bit of that last episode, just the police force did not deserve to be thrown into this, you know? Like, it's a good moment when Integra says, you know, good boys, you served queen and country, you know? But at the same time, it's like, these people don't deserve to be a part of this, you know? Like, this, and honestly, because all of this is specifically, when you really boil it down, it's all about the Major and Alucard, you know? So, which I did also love when Maxwell gets the report that Alucard is on his way back, you know? It's like, that ship shouldn't be able to move, but it is. And he's coming for London, so... but Maxwell's confident that they will be able to defeat Alucard. Fucking Alucard, you know? But that was a good speech by Pip. And then they just unleash on that friggin' blimp, which was great. And then the mines, that was funny. I just love, they just keep running and they all just keep hitting the mines. Like, none of them, like, it takes them, like, a good, like, minute before they stop and, you know, keep going. And I do love the, the solution for that was to throw 1,000 knives all across the grounds. And if it didn't blow up, it was good. Then you just hopscotch across the knives until you get to Hellsing, you know? I love the speed, you know? The speed in this show is really, really good. When they just show, like, it really is just, like, this fast, just jumping between these things. Like, that's really interesting to see in the animation, you know? So I really enjoy that. So, yeah. And they tried to pin him down. I wrote down pin, and it took me, like, a minute to realize what that meant again. But, yeah, but they tried to pin them down. I liked that. I did really enjoy seeing the sort of mindset that Pip had. It's like, because, yeah, you know, these guys, they're just guys, you know? Like, yes, they have Saris there as a vampire to help, but these guys are just guys. So I like seeing, you know, using battle strategies. And to be fair, they've got home field advantage, you know? So I like seeing their sort of military mind come in of, like, how do we defeat vampires? Pin them in, you know? And they won't retreat, so eventually they will, you know, they will try something upon which they will die, you know? What you weren't counting on, like, so what they were planning on was, because they're all still basically just regular people. They're fast, they're strong, and they're bloodthirsty, yes, but they are still, at the end of the day, just people. They're just really strong people. So, like, war tactics should still work on them, and I like seeing that. What they didn't count on is something you would never see in a war, which is a giant friggin' illusion, and an illusion of a giant friggin' person, you know? So, yeah, we got Zoran using her illusion, making them think they were being destroyed. But Saris used that third eye, that vampiric third eye of hers, to realize. And then all she had to do was scratch its face and the illusion went away. So that was good. Unfortunately, it allowed the Nazis to close the distance. And then we had the Wild Geese getting ready to die, basically. They're good men, though. They're good men. And it is interesting, again, it's like, she'll accept the slap on the ass. It's like, well, they're gonna die, you know, these guys, well, I guess I'll let it slide. What she doesn't let slide, though, is Pip trying to kiss her, which is funny. It's like, she has a line. Most of the time, she doesn't let that line get crossed, and here, like, no, not having that, so. But I guess for him, it was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. And of course, I do love all the others being like, oh, I want to kiss her. I want to do that. She's really cute, you know? So, but yeah, but the talk with the boys was good. I was like, oh, you know, we're all going to strap in and die, basically. And it's like, oh, you know, if this was a war movie, your speech would be a lot different. And he's like, we're not heroes in a war movie. We're just some men who, you know, we're hired to kill, and we enjoy doing it, you know? But they're gonna die. They're gonna die men, you know? Although I like how he says, you know, if Saris dies, we're not men, we're cowards, you know? We will have failed if she ends up dying, you know? All of us, we're nothing, but she cannot be taken from this world, you know? So I like that. They're good men. They're good men, those Wild Geese. And unfortunately, they ain't surviving, as we saw in the post-credits scene. But even if they're dead, we can go avenge them and kick the shit out of that Nazi bitch. And with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Hellsing reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.